Do we want to talk a little bit about basically the thing where you're going to give away some greens to some of our backers? I haven't posted the information on that yet. I was saving it for the second chunk of the Kickstarter, which will be this week.
That's fine. As you know, I have boxes of bloody things that you've photographed all of and cataloged. So you know just how many there are. And from my perspective, they're just sitting in a case here, and I thought that it would be nice if people who would treasure these things as curios and something interesting and special could have them instead of me just having them in the closet. So that's why I said take some of them and help out with your Kickstarter.
Yeah, and I think it's very generous of you, and there are a lot of guys who are going to be really excited about it. The inner me is, you know that scene in Indiana Jones when he screams, "That should be in a museum"? That's me. It's like you can't give these away. But I'm keeping myself in check for it. I'm like, all right, Tom wants to do this. And I'm going to keep the names of whoever gets
There's only
one.
so much room in museums, you
Yeah.
know, and so I don't mind the idea of them being in somebody's home, at all. Like I said, my main interest is that it brings somebody that makes them happy that they own this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think it definitely will. A couple of these, we've got 2 backers who, at least so far, have spent enough to qualify for it. Be interesting to see who jumps over that line because of it. But there's some fun stuff in there. Obviously you've already seen what's in there, but you know it's amazing. I think it really was just a matter of luck as to what survived the mold making process and what didn't.
That's particularly true of the early ones.
Yep.
Because the mold making process was not very sophisticated at the time.
And so yeah, I think we got some really nice ones in there, and they're all ones people should recognize. Of course, the ones that are more historically significant to the company, even though they might not be the most shocking sculpt in the world, you know, like the one of the key elves and dwarves from the O2 series, you know, that really, I think, for Partha in particular and fantasy gaming in general, really helped set the direction a lot of things were going in. They're in our highest tier because those I'm probably going to hold on to a little bit right before I put them in the box and send them off, because they're important pieces, and they're probably the only ones from those ranges that survived 100% intact. And whereas you can put them back together, nobody else has that level of skill, really. So
I'm sure that people, if you gave them all the parts, could stick it back together, but it's much nicer to have it intact.
yeah, but there's some fun stuff in there, so I think people will have a good time looking at them. And I actually I didn't tell people why, but I put photos of those greens out online a week or 2 ago, just to let them start looking at them, and obviously they'll find out there's a reason for that now.